The following program was paid for by Southern American Media. Fox 30 welcomes you to Meridian's favorite TV personalities and three-time CMA nominees for Broadcast Personality of the Year. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Debbie.
And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, with our special guest host Madison, who is claiming her coffee didn't work at all today.
None. I'm still tired. Nothing worked. Waking up is not for me, like 5 a.m. No, it's not for me.
5 a.m. I've been going 2 hours before you, girl.
Okay, I want you to spend an hour doing your hair and makeup.
No, I did. This is what I got.
Yeah, it looks terrible. Do it again.
We do hope everyone is having a great day. And thank you for joining us as we start today's coverage and discuss, well, things that go on in our community. This is one of those that we're going to get into. We're going to show you what has happened over the last 24 hours, and we would love to have your input as to what's going on in our community.
Good morning in all caps. I bet he's so excited. Well,
yeah, we
had cruise and not here.
We hadn't gotten any pictures there from Odie there lately.
He's too busy partying.
That's what it sounds like. Watching from Fort Walton Beach, we have some shine. How are you doing this morning? Welcome.
From the beach? That sounds great. Last night felt so good.
Oh, great temperature, wasn't it?
It was so cool and the wind was blowing. I wish every day would feel like that and not hot and sweaty and gross and humid.
There you go. Putting it all out there. Let's get into what the headline of what this morning is. The Meridian Police Department is looking for this suspect as we pull this up this morning. And again, you have to label this a suspect until proven guilty in a court of law. Lawyon, if I'm pronouncing that right, Vaughn, is a murder suspect for the murder of, you pronounce that, how do you pronounce that, Madison? Right there. Adams, we'll call him J. Adams is what we'll call it. I'm pronouncing that wrong. 23, he was shot and killed yesterday, the 23rd on Poplar Springs Drive. And if you watched any of the coverage that we had there live, that was near Country Boys out front on the edge of the road.
You know, it's pretty wild because right before that happened, I had just drove past there and there was nothing. Nothing was going on. And I think about 5 minutes after that, I started seeing posts on Facebook about what happened. I was like, oh my gosh, I was just there. Anything could happen in a split second. You never know. No, you don't.
And I brought this up this morning. I teased this as we were talking about it. In the past of murders that we've had in the Meridian area, shootings that we've had, well, they've been in areas that you could say, oh, that's a juke joint area, or that was a nightclub. A murder took place. This was in the heart of where you work, your businesses are on the streets of Meridian, Mississippi. Do you feel safe now? Again, this gentleman, from what I'm understanding, was doing something outside, been there most of the day. This was a hit. This was not a random drive-by. And there's a point to all of this. It was a calculated murder, an execution. However you want to word that, that is exactly what went on. It was done with a long arm, a rifle, possibly an AR-15, what we're getting. We're not getting a lot of information from the Meridian Police Department. Not a lot. We did get the picture yesterday and the picture of the suspect.
We're probably trying to figure it all out too. They're trying to put the pieces together too, probably.
That may be, but even any large city, any place that there's been a murder, usually the police chief walks out, holds a press conference and says, this is what we know. We don't know any more than this, but we want you to know what we know.
True.
Give you a little, that's the way it should be done. Now, still at large, this person. Does this mean that you could be hurt? It absolutely does. We don't know where he is. To our knowledge, has not been arrested. Most likely has not at this point. As we well know, the Meridian, we've got a lot to talk about on this. As Jimmy Smith released a statement to Facebook the other day, I got it in an email, and I have not had a chance to post this yet, as he went on to say that money had been taken away from the departments. It had been given to other areas, grass cutting being one of those in the Meridian Police Department. If you cannot pay overtime when you have very few officers, you can't patrol the streets.
That's sad.
This is not the officer's problem at all. I spoke to one person, and I'm not real sure they knew what they were talking about when I was asking about the budgets being moved. I'm assuming they were. We had a lot of unfilled positions in the Meridian Police Department. And from what Jimmy Smith said, that money was moved to somewhere else to where the council could use that money for other areas of paving roads or whatever the case is. We need protection. The police officers need to be paid for what they do.
They work hard.
Absolutely, they do.
Long hours, too.
And we don't have enough of them. Our beef is, I am absolutely pro-police. The people that I sometimes bump heads with would be administration levels to where they don't pass along information, won't talk, won't tell you anything. I do have problems with that. And I think at this moment, the mayor should come out and have a press conference about this. We have had a murder in a major portion of our city. It's been crickets from City Hall, from the chief of police. We need to know something.
What would you say like a good time limit to talk about this stuff is? Like, would you give them a day or two?
No.
To collect their thoughts and get something?
No, absolutely not. A great leader, when something happens, steps up. Even if you don't know anything, you address the public and say, look, we've just had a murder. We don't know much. Give us a little bit of time to find out more. You say something. We hear crickets in Meridian, Mississippi. Crickets. Nothing. And that is the top level, not the police. I'm not talking about those guys that wear the blue that are out there in these cars and work hard every day. I'm talking about the administration level. We do have apparently a problem with budgets here. We have got to have police on the streets. Now, as you read that letter that come from the mayor, they've got 3 or 4, possibly 2 that's going through the class that costs $5,000 to $6,000 to be certified. We've got to pay those bills. Is it true that a lot of times after they get out, they're hired by another agency? Absolutely. It's been a constant turnover since this administration took over. We had a lot of cops, and then it went whoop, like this as people retired, resigned, and sought employment elsewhere. That's why our numbers are down. The reason I'm talking about this is it's no secret anymore. The bad guys know that there's not a lot. There's a distraction on this side of town so they can go do this. That's no lie. It happens. If you'll study where things go on, the other night was a prime example of that, to where Hair Queen was broke into. Burglar alarm goes off up the street there. The cops go there. They go break in here. Same thing as this crime just spirals out of control. What is our answer to all of this? It's an extremely good question, but we have to have a true leader step up. We were told when Jimmy Smith, I went to the press conference, I think it started out at 12 months, then it was 15 months, and then 18 months to turn this police department around. On the administration level, we're still waiting on that. Now, the city council, if this money was moved and we can't pay our police officers, it's got to be put back. We have got to have people patrol the streets. They've got to be paid. Our grass has got to be cut in Meridian. The fuel bill is, and I agree with that statement that they said about that, of the fuel bill. These cars roll 24/7. Gas goes up, it goes down. We have got to be able to pay for all of that. Oh, boy.
It's a lot.
It is. But again, I want you to keep this in mind. This is not, and I've been preaching this for nearly a year now. To when I first started doing this, there's a lot of people that said, you don't need to bring up gunshots here. You can't do that. It's not nice. Well, what happens is gunshots, they did, you know that.
It's not nice.
Oh, yeah. No one's ever done that. You can't do it because it's never been done. Well, you have to tell the truth, and that's what we do. As this progresses, well, we had a shooting here, we've had a shooting there. Well, it finally gets off of those beaten paths to residential places. Now, welcome to Meridian, the streets of Meridian. This happened on Highway 19, broad daylight, if you'll remember a few months back. A shootout as someone was walking down the street in front of a bank, in front of a restaurant and a tire shop. Y'all remember that? That guy lived to tell the truth. He was just fast. The gentleman yesterday was not. That was also a target when that happened. We're just getting cranked up. We got more to talk about this, and we do want your opinions. As we see Lonnie, the answer, Chris Reed. Maybe it is. I think that time has passed for the city to get Chris.
Yeah, they lost their chance.
They did. There's a lot that I want to say about this. Y'all hang on. We're going to be right back. And I want to address some, I mentioned some gunshots yesterday, and I was jumped on social media for doing it. Let me say this. Just because you don't find shell casings laying in the middle of the road does
mean it
not
didn't happen.
absolutely doesn't mean it. There was a black car that people saw shoot gunshots from the windows in the air. It happened. I have people all over town that contact me. People that live in the homes that contact me immediately when something happens. I have people in different positions that contact me. Sometimes when news breaks, does some of the facts change a little bit? Yes, but the overall story is factual and it happens. If we put gunshots happen somewhere, should it be wrong, we will make a correction immediately. 99.9% if we post it, it has happened. Y'all hang on, we're going to be back. We got a lot to talk about this, as I said a moment ago. Be right back.
No matter how many times you try, and no matter where you call, Representative 81 Steve Horn won't answer the phone. We're not getting any representation in Jackson. District 81, we can do better. Vote Ben Shirley, August the 8th. Paid for by Ben Shirley.
Meridian's favorite barbecue is Squealer's Barbecue. Named the barbecue capital. Burgers, Squealer's simply has the best for a family environment. Every Thursday night, there's live music out on the porch. Takeout orders are welcome, and whether it's your next tailgate or large catering event, your friends at Squealer's are there to help. Drop in for lunch today or a night out on the town. Squealer's Barbecue, the best in fine barbecue.
Are you looking for a trustworthy place to buy your next car or truck? Visit my friends at Massey Supermart Auto Sales. They've been doing business since 1955. There's a reason they've been in business for so long. They have fair prices, superior service, and repeat customers. For your next quality pre-owned vehicle, it's Massey Supermart Auto Sales. Taking care of your car needs at 1023 Highway 39 North.
Profit dealer, Massey Supermart.
Nothing adds more value to your home than well-manicured landscaping. Distinctive Borders can transform the look of your residential or commercial landscaping with continuous decorative concrete curbing. Distinctive Borders adds an attractive, durable, and permanent solution that will add value and prestige to the overall appearance of your home's landscape. Choose from a custom range of colors and patterns at an affordable price. Locally owned and operated right here in Meridian, Mississippi. Distinctive Borders, 601-490-3678.
Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. This is Madison as she fills in for Odie while he is out and about. We had a question a moment ago. Candace will be in tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, filling in for Odie, and Chris will also make a guest appearance. Chris Reed will join us on Friday. He's going to come by and we're going to talk a little bit about crime and his thoughts on all of this. Now, let me pull this picture back up. I want y'all to see this and remember this face. If you see this today, I want you to immediately call 911, the Meridian Police Department, or Crime Stoppers, whatever you can, wherever you are. You contact a police officer or 911. Here's the picture that you're looking for. This is the gentleman that is connected. Keyword, again, being a suspect until proven guilty in a court of law. A man was executed on the streets of Meridian, if you're just tuning in, yesterday. Now, as we look at all of this, we've yet to have a press conference, as I brought up a little bit ago. I think it is late. We didn't have one when a 5-year-old was murdered in Meridian. We didn't have a press conference then. We've had one or two. I attended those. We haven't gotten a lot of information. We need to know something from authorities. We absolutely do. We need police on the streets patrolling this. In the North Hills area yesterday, if you went to a business, and this is no lie, most of the businesses had their door locked. If you came up, they would open and let you in. Why? Well, if there's somebody running around that got shot, you're absolutely going to do that. You need to protect yourself at all costs. And let me say this why, Madison, let me do this. And I talked to somebody last night. They go, well, why are you making a big deal of this? Well, I absolutely am. Do y'all remember Hinds County? 4 guys broke out of jail, climbed through the roof, however you want to do it, and they broke out. The person that was watching the doors being locked failed to do their job. They escaped. Well, they didn't have big crimes. They had done some misdemeanor things, small stuff. If you'll remember, a preacher is driving down the road, Jackson, Mississippi, minding his own business. He sees a wreck of a motorcycle. He pulls over to help the young man that has the accident. He is shot and killed by the escapee. He was the guy on the motorcycle for his vehicle. Now, do you not think that somebody who has committed murder will do that again to get away? I think so. So that's why we say this person is armed and dangerous, still at loose. Now, can they be out of the town? They absolutely can. I don't know where they are. They'd be in custody if I knew that. But we take these things serious. Absolutely.
I don't know why someone would say it's not that serious, because it seems like they're okay with someone being killed. Like they're saying like, oh, that's fine as long as it's not me, you know? That's what it's kind of saying. Like you shouldn't, it matters because someone lost their life.
It absolutely matters, no man. And trust me, I have done research. I know the history of the young man that was killed. It is still sad. He has family. This is awful. It doesn't matter. What happens when someone else is targeted and it happens to be an event where there's a lot of people? And I know the exact number, and I'm not going to say it on screen, but this was not bang. This was multiple shots. Mm-hmm. This was not. Can someone miss? What does that mean? That other people, innocent people, can be injured.
A lot of them.
And, you know, as we get back to this, are y'all even aware that the police chief of Meridian drives a car that has no lights, no woo-woo sound, no woo-woo? There is none.
Is it like a undercover?
No, it's a car that was bought and they can't afford to put lights. I don't even know if it has a radio. It may have a radio, but it has no woo-woo lights.
Oh goodness.
Maybe, and I have called. I have yet to get an appointment or meet with the spokesperson for the Meridian Police Department since they took over. There has yet not one single time that I have called Billy Solly, and I got his number here. If I call Billy, whether he's traipsing through the woods, he's putting handcuffs on someone, and he's done this. He's answered the phone and said, "What can I do?" in the middle of the act. How do you get somewhere without lights on a car? Now, I don't know who the budget is for this. Now, I'm not being a smart aleck, but there's about 5 cars that were bought that sit out front of the Meridian Police Department forever because it didn't have radios and they didn't have lights. And now the police chief drives one that has no lights. I've heard of other officers buying their own lights out of their pocket so they can get somewhere.
It's got to be extremely expensive.
Picture this.
Buy those types of lights.
It is, but we need that in our budget to do this. Where did the money go? You cannot turn on hazard lights and go to the scene of a crime. Now, I'll be willing to call Billy to see if he could escort the Meridian Police Department in front and they follow behind, if that would work. We got issues. We have issues. We all know that's going on. There's a lot of things that's not said and done.
It's overwhelming. You know, there's so much going on and no one knows what to do. And it scares people because there's no one giving them any information, you know?
No, it's not. I made this post. Let me show this picture here. I put this on purpose last night. Lock your doors. Until this person's caught, take it seriously. Lock your car doors. Your car can be stolen. You can get in your car and somebody be in the back seat and say, "Drive me out of town. Empty your bank account. Pull over here." Don't let that happen to you.
Well, you should lock your door before all this happened anyway.
You should.
I've seen people say they leave their car running and they go in the store to grab something. I'm like, no, it doesn't matter. If you're in there for a second, you get out, you lock your door because someone will take it no matter what. Lock your door anyway, before and after.
Now, let's look at pictures now. This is from the scene. I'm standing in the street yesterday. I want you to, if you're just hearing this and you go, well, I think I know where all this is, let me show you pictures of where this is. This is Poplar Springs Drive, and as we all know, 493, this is North Hill Street. Right there.
People use
Y'all
that
see that?
road to cut through all the time, too.
Correct. Right there at that sign is where the murder took place, where that says 35 miles an hour, right there. I watched them load this young man up in a body bag, pick his boots up, and tote him off. The fire department had to come clean up the scene. This is not, again, some back street. This is where you work, you live. I want y'all to look at these pictures as we go through this.
There's a lot of people that come through here. Tons of shops.
Chris's insurance company, a view as you look out of this. State Farm. Watch this. They watched that young man work all morning over there before he was murdered. And again, this is the police on scene. And again, they're doing their job. As we go down through here, and let me look at this. Back over in here. I got some more pictures coming up. It's just a shame that this could happen, but right there's a closer picture of where the murder took place, right there at that sign. As you drive by, you will remember this from this day forward, that someone lost their life there. Is it any of the business's fault in that area? Absolutely not.
No, the business didn't do anything.
No.
They were just doing their jobs, literally.
Here's a picture of the police chief walking back from there. There she is right there. She did come. And rightly so, but we did not get a chance to speak with her. And again, this was the men, as you look at that, the men doing their work there, backed up to that scene, and that's where that happened. Now, the person that done this shooting ran behind those businesses toward those apartments. Do we know where they went? No. Most likely, this is just putting two to two together. There was a car waiting, most likely, for them as they escaped the area after that happened. Now, it's a shame, just a shame that this could happen in our city over and over. Let's go back here and take a look at a few other things that happened with this. Now, of course, I've got, if you want to go back and watch the video, I do have that. Now, the address was given as 4620 Poplar Springs Drive. In no way did this happen inside that business. When we showed up on the scene, it was hard to tell anything. There was police tape everywhere.
Well, you can kind of assume it was in that area. Like,
yeah.
There's like a dot, and then there's a huge circle, so you know it happened in that vicinity.
Yeah,
So
and
like,
it did not happen inside Country Boys. It was out on the street corner there. They're good folks. I spoke with them, if you heard any of the live yesterday, as they came up and spoke with us. Now, what do we do next? Who is going to step forward to do something about this? We cannot wait any more months for leadership. Now is the time. Is it time, and I've heard this often said, is it time for the Sheriff's Department to take over? Is it? I don't know how that logistically works, but we need somebody with some experience that knows this is what we do when something bad happens. This is how we handle it. It's that time. We can't wait anymore. And I say that to the administration. Now, let's back up. Earlier in the day, I also was out and about, and I started getting text of 9 police cars just passed. Do you know what's going on? Nope, but I'm out. Let me drive around and find out what happened. And as I went around, I found more information, and I pulled over at Crestwood Elementary School. Now, as you pull up on a scene, there's always in the first bit, there's again, we have not gotten an official statement from police. So it's hard to break down exactly what happened. I'm going to go over what happened at Crestwood next. Don't rush off. We're going to talk about the elementary schools. Children. We're going to talk about that next. Don't rush off anywhere.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Are you looking for a job that could last a lifetime? Structural Steel is hiring now. With employees that have been there from 20 to 40 years, they're family owned and operated since 1975. Competitive starting wages, a 401k package, and great insurance. Immediate openings on the day shift and night shift. From entry-level helpers, welding and tacking, grinding and fitting. And the list goes on of job openings. Start your future today at Structural Steel. Call 483-5381. Folks, if your yard is needing grass and you need it quick, talk to our friends at Coates Hydro Seeding. They offer residential and commercial. The great thing about this, it doesn't wash, the water treads, and it holds the soil in place. It's the easiest way to grow grass. That's hydro seeding. You'll get a great looking lawn without all the dry spots. How many times have you put out seed and it gets washed away, blown away, or even the birds eat it? Talk to our friends at Coates Hydro Seeding, 601-728-1954. Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. This is Madison. As we begin this, as we brought up the word Crestwood. Now, we did get a statement yesterday afternoon from the superintendent of Meridian Public Schools, and we'll read her letter. Let me just show you this, and then we'll read the letter and then show the pictures right there. That's the scene where I showed up yesterday. This is right before you get to Nelson Hall Chevrolet. This is right where the Astro Motel was for years. Now, let me read the statement, and let's pull this up on the screen from the superintendent. as we hit this button right here. And again, this is going to be Dr. Amy Carter, who's the superintendent of education over the Meridian Public Schools. I want to make you aware of a verbal altercation that took place between two adults guests at the conclusion of our awards program on campus. Meridian Police Department, District Campus Police responded immediately and are working to apprehend those involved. Initial reports included one of the adults having a weapon on campus. No shots were fired on campus. I want to reassure you that all students and staff members are safe and were quickly moved into the building. I would like to thank the Meridian Public School Police Campus, Meridian Police Department, teachers, and staff for acting quickly to make sure all students were safe. If you have any information, please contact law enforcement. Sincerely, Dr. Amy Carter, superintendent, on that. Now, as I pulled up, there were numerous parents on scene, and they were saying there was somebody with a gun, and there was. The award ceremony, it was between two adults that had an altercation. Do I have information as to what that might have been? Yes, but I do not know that it to be true and accurate, so it's only at this point hearsay of what I've been told. What I do know and can say, there was an altercation. There was some form of a gun. I've been told 2 to 3 different types. I was not there. I have not gotten a official statement from the police after they've done their initial or a press conference that says, this is what happened, this is what we saw. We hadn't got that. So we only go by what witnesses can tell us from the scene and tell you the best of that. As we get information, we'll make corrections on that as they do. Here's the scene as we pulled up. Meridian Police Department was there. This cannot be denied. It happened. Something went on. I am told that a gray Charger Challenger, either a Dodge Charger or Challenger, left the scene in a hurry as the individuals broke up and left the scene there that were doing this. No kids were hurt. Is this scary? Absolutely. The next question is, and I do not think, and I don't know this for sure, I'm using an educated guess here, I don't think in our school systems, whether it's in the county or in the city, that you have to go through any metal detectors to gain access to a campus, do you? Mm-mm. So I was asked, how did someone get on campus with a gun? That's how. As with the police departments, there's just not enough security in a lot of these to search everyone that comes in.
Well, the thing is with these graduations that's been happening, I've seen a lot of them say you cannot bring a bag, you cannot bring anything besides a diaper bag, and that will be searched as you walk through the door. And one of the graduations that I went to, some people tried to bring a bag in, and there was security at the door, and they refused to let them in.
Well, that needs to happen.
Because they had a bag, which I know people are like, why can't I bring a bag? This is why you can't do that.
Yeah.
I don't want people to turn up their nose like, you shouldn't have to do that. Well, you kind of have to at this point in time because you don't know who has what in their bag and what people are going to do. So don't bring a bag to graduation. Just bring your phone, your keys, and that's all you need. That's all.
This is serious now.
Especially at elementary school. This will be in these kids' minds forever. That's the thing. Kids are so impressionable that they will remember this for the rest of their lives, and not in a good way.
That's true. Something's got to be done. Again, we got to have leadership. Now, tomorrow, Meridian High School will have their graduation. I certainly hope that security is amped up with everything that has gone on in our area. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying anything's going to happen. I don't want anybody to misconstrue or take the words that I just said in a wrong way. We have a graduation. We do know, what was it, last year there was a scare in the parking lot. Y'all remember that. It was a video floating around. We don't want anything. We do need extra security. They have their own police department. The school system does, separate from the Meridian Police Department. Again, the Meridian Police Department cannot comment on what happens at the school because they have their own police. I've been told that numerous times through the years since I started what I do. So any statements will have to come from the school system.
I've seen a lot of people say, like, parents be like, hey, y'all better be nice.
Yeah, and
during your graduation.
We absolutely want that to happen. Best behavior, this is all about children, not a place for arguments for adults or whatever they want to do. So how does everybody feel? What's going to happen? We certainly don't need any of this affecting business in Meridian, but you're human. It makes you go, oh my gosh.
Makes you not want to leave the house ever
again. It does.
At all. Which you can't recluse like that. You need to go out and socialize and get some sunlight. Like, go out. It makes you feel better. But you can't feel good if you can't leave the house because it's so wacky woo outside.
Correct. That's what we know at this point. Again, this gentleman's still on the loose as we look at this, still actively looking at this. Let me give you some telephone numbers. Meridian Police Department, 601-485-1893. Crime Stoppers, 855-485-8477. You're more than welcome to call the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department if you see something. They will act. They have jurisdiction as well within the city limits of Meridian. If they see something, they'll take action to help you. Whoever you see in a police department, pull over, you see them somewhere, pull up, roll down a window, they will help. These guys that drive and ladies also, that drive the black and whites, they're there. They work very hard. I don't want anyone ever to misunderstand me running down our police officers. I am not. They're good people. They work hard. They're there to protect you.
You just want people to be safe and people to realize that's what you want is people to be safe and cautious. And also be aware of your surroundings all the time. When it's not being paranoid, to just when you get out of your car, look around the store, know who's in there. Just be aware constantly. Mm-hmm. That's all you got to do. Just be aware. Just be more cautious. Maybe take some self-defense classes. Beat someone up if they messed you up.
But always remember, sometimes people appointed may not be the best for the job. Let's get the best person for the job to protect our folks there. As we look around, we also saw this. I got a picture that said, boy, them sheriff's boys sure are working hard. Yep, that was right in the city of Meridian there. They pulled someone over. I don't know what they were doing. We have speculation. But the boys in green will pull you over as well. They're there to protect and serve as we look at that. The Meridian Fire Department was extremely busy yesterday. Now, did I get people go, boy, that sure was kind of odd that happening at the same time. As we go here to pictures straight down the street as this shooting was wrapping up, fire trucks start screaming by. Why? There was a kitchen fire.
Oh, no.
Down the street just from there at the Heritage Place. I have to say they've done a fantastic job there. The Meridian Fire Department always on the scene, and they get there in a very quick manner. That's because they're broke up, and it's a neat concept how they have people here, all around town, and when there's a problem in that area of town, they're Johnny on the spot. Just a big thank you for the Meridian Fire Department of what they do and their response time to help and save people. We do appreciate that. As we go down, we had a pretty serious accident out by Meridian Junior College, out by Mississippi State branches. We pulled this up yesterday. Look at this. This was a 3-car pileup.
Ooh.
We had 2 cars here, and then there's another car on the other side of the fire truck there. There at that intersection. 3 of them slapped one another, so to speak. There were minor injuries, or at least injuries, let me word it that way, at the scene. And we do hope everybody's feeling better today.
Things caused by that rain. See how those puddles coming out, so someone could have slid on
Absolutely.
accident and just kind of piled up on each other.
Yeah. Boy, we're not done yet. We got a lot more to talk about, everything that's going on. And again, as always, we rely on you for information throughout the day. If you only watch us on television, we are here throughout the day on Facebook. Scotty Ray Report. If it happens, it'll be there. We're going to be a part of it some way or another to let you have the information. We work behind the scenes all during the day, all during the night, get you the most accurate, fastest information that we can. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Nick Lisi. I am owner of Pinch and Tails Crawfish Shack here in Marion, Mississippi. We are located right across the street from the Subway Sandwich Shop, right next to the Little Griddle. If you're a seafood lover, we have the absolute best seafood in town. We carry crawfish, shrimp, lobster tails, raw oysters, snow crab, corn potato sausage, all the fixins. And for all of your special orders and catering needs, please call 601-934-0598. We're located in downtown Marion.
It's campaign season. Do yourself a favor and elect Reed Tree Service. Got a tree that scares you each time that it sways in the wind? Elect Reed Tree Service to remove that threat. Have storm winds knocked a tree down in your yard and you want it gone? Elect Reed Tree Service. Professional, experienced, insured. Call Mike 601-416-1233 and elect Reed Tree Service for all of your needs. Tell him Scotty Ray sent you.
Health Now is your locally owned medical equipment store. Every person's need is a little different, and they offer a little bit of everything from hospital beds, wheelchairs, reclining back wheelchairs, breathing treatments, CPAPs and supplies. They even have walkers, bath products, and oxygen. And the great thing about Health Now is they offer same-day service. They're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on call 24/7. Health Now Medical Equipment, where we treat our patients like family.
Your local farmer knows a good deal when he sees one. The L-Series Kubota tractor is the #1 selling compact tractor in the USA and offered at Parish Kubota with 0% financing available. Come see why we're more than a tractor store at Parish Tractor.
As we talk about career changes, you've heard me mention MCC before. Boy, do they offer a lot. And they do. How about going out and finding out about their fire protection technology? They'll train you up on all this. Now, fire protection is not the only thing they do there. Maybe you want to do welding. Maybe you want to get into carpentry, cosmetology. There are just endless things that you can do. As we mentioned, this fire protection, you can be a firefighter, fire inspector, get trained. This is the way to do it. It all begins here in Meridian. Great folks. You can visit them online, mcc.com. How about drop by, give them a call. Either way, it starts here in Meridian. Great folks and a great way to get an education. You graduated from there.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of choices. I was very overwhelmed by all the options.
Well, even what we do here, they teach you how to do that. It's all there. Television, editing, marketing. They do that for you here in Meridian. See them at MCC. As we get to, 7:35, 7:36. Boy, time is flying there. Someone asked about Debbie. Debbie was supposed to fill in this week. She had a family not medical, but a family issue come up. She couldn't be here. And we think about her. She's having to just take care of a few things. We hate that she couldn't be with us. As we mentioned, we'll have Candace coming in toward the end of the week as Odie gets ready to come back off of his cruise somewhere this morning, laid up with pom-poms.
Having the best time of his life.
Yeah, I hear it's a lot of fun there. All right, let's get into a few things that happened on this day. Anybody ever remember a little place called Tootsie's? It's very famous. As we remember back in the day, in the 1950s, Hank Williams sometimes couldn't find his way back to the Opry stage. Why? He was over at Tootsie's. He might have had one or two too many. It was in the alley right behind the Grand Ole Opry. Well, the lady that started it was born on this day. Tootsie's famous Orchid Lounge. And if you've never been to Nashville and visited that, it's a landmark. It's got anybody signed and autographed pictures on the wall. It's something to see.
That sounds like a cool place.
It is, but it's a hole in the wall. Narrow.
Oh, no, I'm not going in. No, that's too small.
It's like this, and it's upstairs. You would think, oh, that's a humongous place. It's not. Those buildings down through there are small.
No, never mind. Not going.
1933, this would be the last day it could happen, and it affected Meridian, Mississippi a lot. Jimmy Rogers recorded his last recording session today back in 33. The rest is history, as they say, putting Meridian on the map. 1938, this guy was born. Did you ever watch any of their movies?
What are their movies?
I think it was Nice Dreams was one of them.
No.
Hilarious.
No.
Well, Chong was born on this day. They were high most of their career. Cheech has done a lot more. I think Chong was on one of those, I can't remember what that was. Oh, that 70s show. That's where he was for a little while there.
I remember that show.
Yeah, he was a guest star on the bar or something. 1943, Radar was born. You're going, Radar? Yeah, you remember him from MASH, don't you?
No.
Gary Rich.
I never watched MASH. I've seen it on the TV like all the time.
One of the most watched TV shows that ever existed there. But Radar, a little bitty fella there. Patti LaBelle, 1944. A lot of y'all love her. She was born on this date back in 44. What a lady she is. Very talented as well. As we go to 45, this young girl would start out in Germany, end up in America, married very young, even moved in with somebody. Priscilla.
How young are we talking?
She was out like 16, I think, and had father's permission to come on over to America.
You know, even if you have the parents' permission, I don't think the parents are making the smartest decision for that. just the thought. If you let your kid get married at 16, that's a baby.
It was Elvis, though.
So who cares? I don't care how famous you are.
Better than Jerry Lee at 13.
That's still bad. They're both bad.
There was a guy, anybody remember Ronnie Millsap having a song called There's a Stranger in My House? Yeah. A guy went on to record a song called Walk on Faith. He was born on this date. Mike Reed. He had many, many songs, Forever As Far As I'll Go, recorded for Alabama. He's done all that. He's recorded and written tons and tons of songs. Talent, he was. We would also see that one of the Legends' daughters has a birthday today. The Man in Black, Roseanne, Tennessee Flat Top Box, born in 1955.
I don't know who any of these people are.
She's fallen off the radar lately. I see a post or two from her every once in a while.
I know him.
Magic Man's birthday is today.
Just because of that movie. The only reason why I know who that is.
You would remember him from Step Brothers with Will Ferrell also. John C. Reilly was born on this date. Magic Man. It was really a funny show. If you've never watched Talladega Nights, we urge you to rent it this weekend and watch that.
Rent it.
Well, don't you do that too?
You buy it now.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, you buy it for like $2 off YouTube.
1969, The Beatles, Get Back was number one. Not a big Beatles fan, but it did happen. Well, the final episode of this, it was horrible. That's just the way we're going to word it. They thought it would be a hit, but it wasn't. It just flopped. Nobody watched it. Joni Los Chachi was canceled today. No more aired after this. You don't even see them.
Bad?
It was just bad.
Oh.
It was just bad. You don't even see it in reruns. It was so bad.
Really?
Yeah.
But they lost a lot of money.
This show, if you were anybody and everybody, and I know you missed it, they have since scrapped it, taken a torch and cut the boat up, and it's going to shock you. The Princess no longer exists as the final episode of The Love Boat, aired today in 1986. And during the 70s and 80s, if you were anybody, even Charlie's Angels premiered on this. They were guests that were on there. Everybody was there. And what a show it was. It was Love is in the Air.
Yeah, I'm not watching that one either.
Okay,
I don't know any of these shows at all.
Not even Designing Women, Delta Burke.
No, I don't. Do you know any of the shows that I watched? No.
1993, it ended today. Designing Women, it was probably one of the biggest things that ever hit television. That was huge, if y'all remember back. 1999, this went to an end, and I hadn't thought of it in years. 1999, it went away. Anybody remember the TV show Mad About You? Gone.
Yeah, I don't know that one either.
She was in Twister. She was the girl that was riding with him in the truck that went up there.
Yeah, the only thing I remember about Twister is a cow flying in the air and being severely scared in the 4D movie theater. That's all I remember, is that y'all dragging me in there while I was screaming and crying.
Nothing quite like seeing a cow fly by.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
2005, a young lady would win an award show. She has since gone on to be a legend in her own time. Carrie Underwood won American Idol. Anybody remember that? 2005 is when all that happened.
She got good songs.
She does. Sweet girl. Very, very lovely person. We've got more coming up. We're going to talk about some more events that have gone on in our area and your thoughts. We appreciate each and every one of you every day. We'll be right back. If you're an outdoorsman, Garrett's Outfitters is a place to head to in Meridian. They have a complete line of gloves to keep your hands warm in these cold mornings, toboggans to block that wind, and America's favorite, Carhartt, from the rugged overalls to slacks and shirts. Work boots and mud boots as well. Browse around the gun accessories and a complete line of just about any gun. Protect your investment, your guns, with one of the many Browning gun safes they have to choose from. For the outdoorsman in your family, it's Garrett's, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Summertime has arrived, and Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 has the exact lawnmower for your need. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have a mower for that. No matter the size yard you have, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Drop in today to Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, see coleslaw or buttermilk. Have you been wanting your own building, your own shed? Speak to our friends at Best Sadia Building, 601-728-1954. Now, they can custom build you a home from a barn dominium. Maybe it's a shed that you're needing, or a simple place to park your car, a garage, a camp house. Maybe you need a place to park your tractor, your motorcycle, or even that lawnmower. They can custom design whatever it is you need. Quality work, trustworthy, Best Sadia Buildings. Speak with Drew, 601-728-1954.
Have you been in an auto accident? Call Will Parker. Get the help you deserve. Call Will Parker. Don't settle for less and know your rights. Call Will Parker. Call or go online at parkerfirm.net. Call your Meridian lawyer, Will Parker.
As we talk about Maple's one-stop shop, if you're needing gas today, anything like that, a soft drink, maybe an energy drink, great prices on Gatorade as well if you're out and about. 2 for $5, $5.29 rather. Great Mountain Dew prices. And it goes on and on. Breakfast is being served this morning. They're going to have lunch coming up very quick. You'll find that at the 31st Avenue or out in Causeville. Lots of great food, great prices. 6 locations around town for a cold drink, or maybe you need some gasoline. Drop in and visit with them today. Great folks, and it's always clean. Maples, you'll see that big sign out front with the red truck. That's a Maples location. Visit them today.
Go get yourself a chicken tender box. That sounds so good.
Yeah, someone made a point, and you're right on this. Priscilla didn't marry till she was 21. I said that a little bit wrong, but she did come over long before that and stay at Graceland with the family.
It sounds better than it was, but still, whew.
She was like 16 or 17 when she was allowed to come, and she had to wait.
A child. Oh, my Lord.
It was. There was a wreck last night in the overnight hours. As we pull this up to take a look, this was at the Kewanee One Stop. Now, as you'll see, this truck is underneath an 18-wheeler. They've been taken to the hospital for medical care. We don't know anything other than that. How that happened, it's kind of unsure. We haven't seen the police report at this point. But there was a wreck there, and we thought we'd pass that along to you. Mississippi Highway Patrol, Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department were there, along with Metro Ambulance and numerous volunteer fire departments on the scene, as they most likely had to cut someone out of that.
Wedge them out of there somehow. The jaws of life probably was used to rip off a door.
Yeah, that's almost like the scene from Smokey and the Bandit when they went up underneath the 18-wheeler.
You know, it's easy. People ask, like, how's that happen? It can happen extremely easily and within a second of you just probably looking to the left or right, and then boom, it's like right there. Like,
we had a case of vandalism in Lauderdale County, and I got this, and this happened to a preacher's truck. I'm going to point this out and show what happened here. This happened on Lysia Road. The Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department has gone out as we pull this up. Truck was scratched on, as you'll see that picture there. Let's blow this up just a little bit, and as you get on across here.
I would like to know what that bottom word said. I could not figure out.
Like kids to me.
We don't like kids. Wow, that's a weird thing to put.
Very weird.
Okay.
Vandalism, though. Always keep an eye out. Keep those cameras rolling. Anything that you could do, Lysia Road, if you saw something suspicious, contact the Sheriff's Department. They'd like to know about that so they can put a close on that case. Hey, we got some congratulations in Clark County. I know there's a lot of other kids that have won. This is just ones I've got pictures from. So if your ball team has won, we'd love to see that as we go to Clark County Hot Topics. Here's right here. Congratulations for winning the championship. Some folks there from Quitman. I think we've got another group that also won. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. Some more kids that won. So congratulations to each group. My wife was telling me last night, y'all went to a ball game out at West Lauderdale and had a youngster walk up and show my wife his ring that he won. And
oh,
he said,
Lord.
We didn't even win, and we got a ring.
It was like this big, and it was all shiny. Oh, my gosh. It was the biggest thing I've ever seen. You could knock someone out with that.
Oh, have mercy.
I'm just saying, y'all should go to these, like, little kid T-ball games because you'll have 4-year-olds fighting on the field, and it's pretty funny because all you got to do is just pick them up and move them. They're very easy to break up. It is so funny.
As we mentioned, it's going to be a graduation in Meridian tomorrow as we pull this up. Now, this is the graduation from Meridian High School. It will take place at 9 a.m. at Ray Stadium tomorrow, the 25th. So that's going to be happening. Just be aware if you travel back and forth on 23rd.
It's going to be traffic.
Yeah.
Graduation traffic is the absolute worst thing ever. I hate it.
And so be expecting there's going to be a lot of moms, dads, uncles, aunts come to this. So it's extra cars everywhere, just like when you go up, when they have graduation up at the Evangel Temple of how many cars there are. We do see that, boy, this is bad when this happened, as we go over toward Brandon, Mississippi. Embezzlement, taking it from the band boosters.
From the band?
Yep. A Rankin County woman has been arrested. $45,000 has been taken. They arrested Donna Gladney. She was 42 of Pearl on embezzlement charges. And again, you have to face a judge and jury to be convicted of that, but it is a suspect in the case, and an arrest has been made.
She must have something against those band kids for her to be taking their money like that, because they need that money to go on trips and buy stuff.
No.
She has something against those kids.
Folks just don't think of it. They think of money.
No, they
We've
give
seen
me,
it.
me all the time.
Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia. Lots of cash stolen from there. People just take what is not theirs. It's easier to take than instead of working for it.
Sad.
Yeah, that was my exact word I wanted to say. We have horrible news, as we did mention this yesterday as it being breaking news. The bodies of the two teenagers at the county line. As we go there, the bodies of two teenagers have been found in the river there, recovered. We pass along condolences to the families. They're so sad that this has happened.
Might want to start muting your phone a lot more often.
Oh. As we look here, we come across. We do see that we've got Jackson Cracker Barrel is going to be closing.
Was it doing bad in business? Or
yeah, it just started. They never recovered.
You know, a lot of places have been like chain restaurants. Like O'Charlie's closed, and I heard like Logan's at one point would be closing, but never did. But like a lot of just like these random restaurants that you think are doing well, they just randomly like, oh, we're doing actually terrible and we're closing forever and we're giving you like a day notice before. So it's like insanity.
It is.
Whenever it does that.
Boy, but that's not happening in the Jackson, Mississippi area. We've got more on the way as we head toward 8 o'clock starting this Wednesday morning, halfway through the week. Good morning to you. Let's see. That's what. If you're an outdoorsman, Garrett's Outfitters is a place to head to in Meridian. They have a complete line of gloves to keep your hands warm in these cold mornings, toboggans to block that wind, and America's favorite Carhartt, from the rugged overalls to slacks and shirts. Work boots and mud boots as well. Browse around the gun accessories and a complete line of just about any gun. Protect your investment, your guns, with one of the many Browning gun safes they have to choose from. For the outdoorsman in your family, it's Garrett's, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Summertime has arrived, and Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 has the exact lawnmower for your need. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have a mower for that. No matter the size yard you have, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Drop in today to Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, see coleslaw or buttermilk. Have you been wanting your own building, your own shed? Speak to our friends at Best Sadia Building, 601-728-1954. Now, they can custom build you a home from a barn dominium. Maybe it's a shed that you're needing, or a simple place to park your car, a garage, a camp house. Maybe you need a place to park your tractor, your motorcycle, or even that lawnmower. They can custom design whatever it is you need. Quality work, trustworthy, Best Sadia Buildings. Speak with Drew, 601-728-1954.
Have you been in an auto accident? Call Will Parker. Get the help you deserve. Call Will Parker. Don't settle for less and know your rights. Call Will Parker. Call or go online at parkerfirm.net. Call your Meridian lawyer, Will Parker.
And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. As we said, we've reached Wednesday. There's a 20% chance of showers today as we get this day in motion. Now, we're going to hit about 78, 79 for a high. As we go forward from this, expect sunshine. So it will be great for the graduation tomorrow. And there may be other graduations that are occurring throughout the areas. Mm-hmm. So it is going to be great weather for that. And this is Memorial Day weekend. So what we want to remind you of, there's going to be extra police force on highways and byways. As we all know, accidents often happen during these Memorial Day weekends. And we don't want you to be a statistic at all. Also, this includes on the water. Use extra caution if you're going to be out boating anything this weekend, because that happens too. No drinking and driving on a boat.
Always have someone sober with you constantly so they can keep watch and drive you and make sure you're safe constantly.
Yeah. So as we get near that, and then we're going to have a memorial service downtown Meridian as we get ready for this coming up on Monday. We hope you'll take part of this. A very special, somber moment, Memorial Day. It's important to remember where we've been so we'll know where we're going. We'll be down for that ceremony a little bit later on as that comes about next week, the start of a new week. So it's going to be a 3-day weekend for a lot of people to get to sleep a little bit late.
I'm sleeping in as much as possible.
Oh, I don't doubt that one bit.
Yeah, waking up at 5 a.m. Killing you. Tell me. Kill me.
As we look at the next headline that happened in the state of Mississippi, this happened a year ago. A young man was murdered in the state of Mississippi. It was an awful murder. He was set on fire by another teenager. The teenager finally has got him sentenced. He got 20 years to serve, 20 years probation.
Gosh.
Is that enough?
Probably not. Probably not, if I'm being honest.
I think most people would agree with that. That we have to set examples of things that happen in this. You know that guy, that weird, what do you call the guy with the spiked blonde hair that's on all those cooking?
The best guy ever, Guy Fieri.
Yes.
My favorite man. I love him.
You like him?
Yes.
All right.
You're weird for not.
Well, it doesn't excite me at all. He's always, now I like his car. Was it a Camaro they show in the beginning of that?
See, you weren't a kid watching Food Network at 10 years old when you're out of school, and he was the best thing on TV.
Well, he's got a restaurant coming to the state of Mississippi, Tunica, up where the casinos are. If you're a big fan of, what's his name, guy, what?
Fieri.
Yeah, that guy. If you're a big fan of that, be ready. It's coming to the state of Mississippi. Pretty big deal for us to get a restaurant like that. In other parts of the state, this is Louisiana, an ice cream truck. Now, Scuba, Mississippi, we did not have an ice cream truck. The only time that I've ever seen an ice cream truck, we went to cousins. We went to visit them in California, and the ice cream truck come by. Little sound. Yeah, I remember that.
I've ever seen one before.
Run out, and you could buy from the window there. Well, in Louisiana, they had one run through an apartment complex and hurt several kids as it drove through the building.
I guess they were
We're assuming that the
a
gas
little
got
overdone on ice cream, though.
Yeah.
Might have went to a coma.
I would say so. Now, other things have been happening here. Let's see here. Always watch this. This happened in another Tunica. This is back up near the casinos. We had somebody get off from work, as often do a lot of you own businesses, and you have someone do a night deposit. Take the money and go put it in a night deposit. Not always a good idea. As this happened in Tunica, as they were leaving, they got pulled over, so they thought it was somebody that robbed them. Now, as police investigate this, there were no lights on it. The person that come up to the window did not have a police uniform on, but they did pull over and they were robbed. It's an investigation. Be careful with folks who do closings for you, especially during this day and time with money being involved.
I feel like you should not do deposits at nighttime because you can't see well. You don't know who's around you and who's watching you. So, like...
And it never hurts if you've got employees to call the Meridian Police Department or the Sheriff's Department and say, hey, we're getting off work. Would y'all mind as we go to our cars? A lot of times they'll be more than glad.
Let someone know.
Yeah, they'll be more than glad to sit in the parking lot and watch your employees come out. Sometimes they can't. They may be on a more serious call, but when they can, they'll help, and that's important. Use what we've got, important stuff. Thank y'all for dropping by. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks a bunch. We appreciate you.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: